Hey, what's up, guys? This is Brooks Nelson with the At Me Bro Show, coming at you with this shot stick tutorial for the post-patch 1.02 shot stick guide. So they changed basically everything about the way the shot stick works, but it can still work for you. What I said initially is still true. I think if you want just basic, easy, consistent shooting, just turn off your meter and learn how to, use the button. I think that's a pretty big window for most people. But if you like pain and you're with me and still using the shot stick, this is for you. So there are two basic ways you can use the shot stick and be extremely consistent. Now, before we get into that, I want to show you guys one thing that's very, very important. When you catch the ball and when you pull down the stick, heavily determines whether or not it shows up left and right, right? So even if I pull it down relatively fast, if I do it before I catch the ball, it still might appear on the left side. For instance, you're going to hear the click of my stick in the background. See that? Left side. And there's a pretty fast click of the stick. I'm not trying to aim it. I'm just trying to show you guys something. See that? Left side. And that was a pretty fast click of the stick. Now, that is a very important feature. So I'm going to pull down the stick the same speed, right side, right? So that's number one. If you pull down the stick anything but the absolute maximum speed, and even sometimes then, before you catch the ball, it will appear on the left side. So let's get into the two sides of this. So first of all, shout out to SamFam. He has a great method on his site. And shout out to DBG. His method is going to also be a part of this tutorial as well. So watch SamFam's video. It went up as of the time that I put this video up. So it's basically saying if you pull down the stick very gently 60% of the way and then curl it to the left side, you'll get, you'll be able to control the release, all that good stuff. Now, this is the Jedi light side where you're using extreme care and precision to get the shot up, and it does work. Now, here is my method of doing this. Going with the knowledge that you have already, if you are on a catch and shoot, know that it's going to appear on the left side almost anyway. So as the ball is approaching you on a catch and shoot, you want to gently pull your stick down all the way to the bottom, not 60% of the way, and start automatically rolling it to the left side. And this is actually very easy, right? So I'm just going to give you guys an example right now as I do this, but I want to explain exactly what I'm doing. It's very, very simple. I'm gently pulling the stick down towards the bottom when the ball is in the air, and I'm slowly already moving it to the left side where I know it's going to be. And this is really important because this motion, it's very easy. I put this on Twitter yesterday. It's very easy to incorporate the left trigger release, L2 left trigger release into this to give you the extra boost. So we're going to do it now. I'm pulling down the stick while the ball is in the air before it touches my hands, doing it gently, slowly sliding it to the left side before the meter even shows up. You see there? And you saw how I was already on it directly. And you're going to be right on top of it every single time using this method. I'm on superstar difficulty, by the way. And you can see there, I'm always right on top of that meter. Let me try and get behind the three-point line here. Always right on top of it. So this is pretty easy. And this is the light side of stick shooting, where you're going down really gently before the ball gets to you. And you're guaranteed that it's going to show up on the left side if you do that. Now, so that's the light side, right? Is this kind of gentle, easy motion that once you practice it, you'll have it green all the time. It's pretty simple. I'm rolling it just a little short here, but again, I'm just kind of showing you guys online how to do this. But as you can see here, very simple, superstar difficulty, easy breezy. You have all the time in the world to start gently rolling the stick towards that center green point. And once you get used to that, it'll be very easy to start. I did it after I caught the ball there. Once you do it there, once you get a semblance of how that works, it'll be very easy to incorporate the left stick into your motion. So I'm going to do it one more time. I've already pulled the stick down there. I did it too fast. Let's try it one more time. Stick is already down, left side, green. Okay. So that's the Jedi, lightweight, kind of consistent with what SamFam is doing. You can go all the way to the bottom with this. The key is, in that situation, to guarantee that it's going to show up on the left side, start your stick motion as the ball is in the air before it touches your hands. Now, if it does touch your hands, you can still get it to appear on the left side, but you have to go very, very slowly to guarantee that it's on the left side. Because the problem with the stick shooting, the way it's tuned, is that the middle window, like everything between very slow and very fast, is kind of random. Like, so you have to go either very slow or very fast if you want to guarantee that it's going to show up on the side that you want. Now, this is the dark side. The dark side is aggressively slapping the thumbstick down as soon as it touches your hands. Now, here's the good thing about this. Once you have possession of the ball, this also works for off the dribble shooting, right? And it's the same basic idea. You slap it down very quickly and then slowly roll it to the right. And honestly, doing this method, it's in the center very often, right? It's very often in the center. So we're going to do it right now. So now you're actually going to hear it from my stick because it's fairly close to the microphone. You're going to hear my stick slapping down. I'm going to be slapping down basically as fast as I can as it touches my hands. And you see there. You can hear the coordination there of the ball touching my hands and me rolling it to the right side. So the only thing that's, I'm not going to say slightly difficult, it's a little bit of a adjustment, is because you're slapping the stick down so quickly, you want to make sure that as soon as that stick is down, you relax your thumb so that you can get a nice, easy, gentle movement to the right side. Now, what I like about this method versus the gentle method is you can guarantee this aggression, and your adrenaline won't ruin this aggression right here. Because when you're in a high contest of, competition, you're more likely, and this is true of basically any skill, you're more likely to go too fast than too slow. And with this fast slap down stick method, it's, as you guys can see, I have a very high success rate on superstar difficulty while I'm talking to you guys, and I'm not even using the left trigger right now. I'm just slapping that stick down every single way. Now here's where I go to DBG's method. So what DBG does, he does what a lot of COD players do, and he's using his index finger. You can watch his videos, watch his methods to see that, to slap down on it. Now now I know that's very awkward and most people aren't going to use it, but this is a tutorial for anybody just to be successful with the stick. I'm giving you guys everything that I know to work. So even if I have the ball already, this works 100%. This also works off the dribble. And you're basically taking the finger, your index finger off the top of the controller, slapping it down on the stick as quick as you can. And you saw there, it was actually already dead center. I didn't have to move it at all. So that is basically like super perfect, ideal, really easy method of getting this thing to work, because it's almost always like super dead center when you do this method, as you can see right here. I'm literally just taking my index finger and slapping it down. I'm still going to use my thumb personally, but I think DBG's method is actually really, really good for the new shot stick. I think his method is actually better than it was before, because you can use the speed of that index finger slapping down to your advantage. So I want to show you guys one more thing that this works off the dribble. So I'll show you a couple of just basic dribble techniques, if I can actually get a step back there. So when you have the ball in your hand, it's up to you to go fast or slow, like whatever. The main thing is when the ball is in the air, when you pull down the stick has a big influence on whether or not it shows up on the left side. I can't stress that enough. So even if you pull it down fairly quickly, if you do that before the ball touches your hands, you might get the meter to show up on the wrong side sometimes. But when the ball is in your hand, the speed that you do it at, super fast or super slow, should give you consistent results. So this is super slow, very consistent result. And I'm going to do the same thing with the ball in my hand, super fast. And again, when I go super fast, you should be able to hear the click and, clean result there. So this is also really consistent off the dribble. So if I was to, you see that? And you can hear the same thing, the result right in the middle there. Gonna do it again after the momentum dribble, right off the dribble. It's right in the middle. A very, very easy adjustment for you to do from there. Same thing off of like a step back. Right down dead center, almost have to do nothing. Now keep in mind, you guys are seeing some whites here, but because this technique is so easy, you have plenty of time to add the left trigger to give you the extra boost, which is why I think this is actually still really, a viable way to use the stick if you want to use the stick. Again, if you want to, and this also works for moving shots. I just wanted to show you guys that as well. Just take a moving shot, show you where the meter is showing up. You can hear the fast press goes down and the meter's right down, it's right down dead center. And so what I'm doing, I'm basically slapping down on top of my stick. Again, I use Control Freaks with the pads on, so it's very easy. It's a really big target. And you guys can see here extreme consistency with the appearance of this meter and the very small adjustment I have to do. And honestly, when it's that close, the left trigger, I just tapped left trigger that time. You could probably hear it there too. When it's that close, the left trigger boost is going to be enough to get you over the top, even to hit a lot of full whites. And you see there greens. So this is, and I'm doing this live while I'm talking to you with very little practice. So you guys can imagine, you get into the lab, practice this for a little bit, and you should be able to be very, very consistent with ShotStick 2.0. Now you can learn both methods, the light side and the dark side, pulling down very slowly or pulling down very quick. I'm going to quickly review the rules of it. Basically, the speeds are not slow, medium, fast. It's very slow, good luck, and very fast, right? So that's number one. Number two is just equally important as number one. On catch and shoots, when you pull down the stick before you shoot, becomes a factor and will likely result in you getting the meter to appear on the left side if you pull down the stick before the ball touches your hands. So on catch and shoots, it doesn't matter which way you do. You can do it, slow or fast, but just be aware of when you pulled the stick down so that you don't get surprised if you go, hey, I pulled that down really fast and it showed up on the left side. That's because you pulled it down before the stick touched your hands. And honestly, I think that's just a flaw in the design, but it's very easy to adapt around. Just pay attention to when you pull down the stick is the simple answer. And the last thing is, both methods work, I think, equally well off the dribble. But off the dribble, I favor pulling it down quickly because I think it's just an easy translation to the way we already use the shot stick. And the last little note, and this is just kind of a tip, if you are pulling it down quickly, because you're pulling it down quickly, that's a lot of like tension on your thumb. So just make sure your pattern is pull down, relax, gentle nudge. And I know that sounds like a lot, but it's actually very easy. Honestly, it's very, very easy. It's just slap it down, gentle nudge to the right. You know where it's going to be. It's going to be to the right side or possibly even already dead center when you do that method, as you guys can see here. And I realize these are whites. I'm not tapping the left trigger, but the reason I think this method is so good is because you have the option to tap left trigger because you have a lot more time when you know where the stick is going to be. So the key being you have to be very fast on the fast and you have to be very slow on the slow. If you pull down your stick in that medium speed, what feels like a natural speed, it will be an unpredictable location. And that will result in obvious inconsistency where you'll have to be swinging the stick on reaction. And the whole point of this is you're not doing anything by reaction. You are 100% planning where the meter is going to be. And because you're planning where the meter is going to be, you have the ability to add that left trigger boost, which I actually think is a lot easier than it was before. So Ty Buzz says it's harder for me to control how much I'm pulling down instead of full pull. No, pull down in both methods, you pull down all the way. Like in Sam Fam's method, you pull it down part of the way. That's not what I'm saying to do. I'm saying either you just pull it down all the way to the bottom very slow and then start to roll it to the left side as soon as you see him start a shooting motion. And in the case of the fast one, you're going all the way down, so in both cases, you're going all the way down. Sam Fam recommends that you go 60%. I'm saying you can do that if you want to, and I know it's effective. I'm saying I'm not doing that. I wanted to give you guys a method that allows you to go all the way down to the bottom because in the heat of the moment, it's going to be very hard at game speed to train yourself and also your controller matters too. How much tension you have on your controller will determine whether or not, you're able to do that consistently. So I think just the idea that that you have to pull it down very slowly. If you go as slow as possible and adjust from there to your comfort. But if you're going to do the slow method, go very slowly, but go all the way down to the bottom. Now, and I did that medium speed and it went to the right side. And you guys didn't hear the click of my stick. And that's why I say, for me, I'm going to rely on the fast one because it's very easy to go a little faster than very slowly. Now, I do think if you practice the very slow method for a long time, you'll get it. But I like the dark side. You know what I mean? I like the dark side. Just slap that stick all the way down. You know it's going to be in the middle pretty much, so tap L trigger, get the boost, and GG. And again, this is superstar difficulty, so you have to be basically perfect, which is good because the amount of greens I'm getting basically day one of practicing this shows that by day 2, you guys are going to be good money. And I think this is something that will definitely work in the heat of competition because, I mean, you can see the consistency here as I'm talking to you. I'm not even concentrating. I was slightly to the left. It's going to work in competition because it feeds into the adrenaline that you'll have when you're playing against people, which is a good thing. All right, so we're going to end it there, making a bunch of these in a row. Of course, I'm going to miss one last one before I get out of here, and the ball's going to get stuck. All right, guys, I hope that was useful. The same thing is with leaners are exactly the same as before. You don't have to worry about leaners at all. Fast or slow, you have plenty of time to move the stick to the proper location. And the good thing, which I said day one, is that they buffed the smoothness of the stick, so it's a little easier to move it. All right, guys, I will talk to y'all on the next one. I hope this was useful. If it was, please like and subscribe. If it wasn't, tell me why in the comments section and I will continue to try to help you. And if you're a button user who's here to say the button's easier, like I said before, if you're a button user, turn the meter off and shoot with the button. That is a perfectly fine way to shoot. This is for people who prefer to use the stick and are having trouble with the transition from stick 1.0 to stick 2.0. All right, guys, have a great night. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.